Let's go, it's the Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show.
It's Frontal, man, and ain't got time to shake your head. Get that Ratchet, put it in pockets till I get back. Going downtown.
I've been playing Ratchet and Clank for years now, but come on fans, let's be 3 additions to the series were fun, but never really grabbed the same essence as the originals. So with the new title being a tower defense title, they tried something a little bit different. Mixed a crazy wacky sense of humor from past titles with the mass amount of different guns to use and a tower defense type gameplay. Tower defense titles usually focus on building or defending a base and basically having multiple units defending a certain area. Putting weapons and shields in this title, you can slow down enemies or kill them with set weapons, and of course, you yourself can actually blast away with enemies just like in a Ratchet and Clank game. Also, gotta say, the other interesting portion is the game is mixing a level-based area where you'll go around and do platforming, killing such, like returning back to the old games, but still having to protect your base and so on. Using these two genres in one, does full frontal assault, which sounds very perverted by the way, work, or does it come up a little short-handed? Yes, I won't ever stop with these sex jokes. I mean, full frontal assault, come on. Anyway, let's get into it.
Zircon is the #1 cause of death in sneaky aliens.
It's Frontal, man, and ain't got time to shake your head. Get that Ratchet, put it in pockets till I get back. Going downtown.
So as always, we are going to start off with the good. Despite being a side game, still has the heart of the old titles. You can play as Ratchet and Clank or the Crazy Captain and defend your home while using the lovable weapons from past titles. Setting up a base can be a little bit tricky because you'll want to spend your points pretty wisely in this title. Setting up the wrong turret based on certain enemies can also make defending your base very difficult yet fun.
Your time? These invasions were devised to get us off the ship. What were you doing here, Zergo? Oh, just looking for this. The access key to Moron's galactic weather grid.
The idea of switching from defending your base to having a whole level to go around killing baddies, gaining screws, and building up weapons in the levels are a lot of fun. It's a cool idea, though not perfect, which I'll get to in a minute. The level up feature of the weapons though is back, and it's of course as fun as ever. As they are getting stronger, they are getting newer, better attacks, and they also even look different. Just like past titles, this is a feature that I always really enjoyed in Ratchet and Clank. Now the bad. The game isn't nearly as pretty as the main two titles that were previously out on the PS3, or not even All for One, which is a little odd. Still saying that, it's not ugly, but the severe lack of polish that we get used to in these titles is just not there. However, it is a $20 game, so I can't bitch that much, right? I personally thought the idea of mixing platforming and killing in a level with tower defense could have been amazing. However, the way they set it up is just not, well, perfect. Everything is preset and limits you to what you can do in every level. Very limited. And sure, by the end there are definitely more options, but the game doesn't present it till the end of the whole game. Kind of defeats the purpose, which means it's basically a gigantic tutorial so you have to, use all the different weapons and have real fun defending the base, because that's what tower defense is all about. I also like to note that the enemies come back and they come to your base far too often instead of having checkpoints, so you'll basically usually have to run back to the base every 2 seconds, and it's just kind of annoying, and I love tower defense games. The end result of every level is almost the same too. Go through the level, kill the baddies, gain a new weapon, get to the end, beat the big bad. Go back to the home base for one final defense stance. I mean, it's just a simple formula, and it doesn't change much, which kind of sucks, especially coming from a game like Orcs Must Die, where they do change it around and send different types of enemies for different portals. So I was a little disappointed here, I'm going to be honest. The ugly is the platforming. It doesn't really feel all that refined. At times the camera would flip out and I fall off a ledge that just wasn't there. Get stuck in these like tiny boxes and then it would explode when I move away from it. Silly things like that just really feel lack of polish, which is sad seeing as this is a Ratchet and Clank title and that should not happen.
Danger. Reformatting device under attack.
It's Frontal, man, and ain't got time to shake your head. Get that Ratchet, put it in pockets till I get back. Going downtown.
And we're getting to the verdict now. the verdict really isn't as bad as I'm kind of making it out to be, because everybody always thinks I'm ending my good, bad, and ugly section with ugly. Obviously, the last thing you heard me say something ugly. And I want to be sure there is fun to be had here. There's also a lot of frustrating parts, though, and sometimes lazy design that you wish they would have fixed. The rich universe of Ratchet and Clank could really work with tower defense, but this just seems like a beta version of that. I'd say rent this title, even at the $20 price tag. I don't know if that's even possible. I kind of wish I did rent it instead of buying it. For lovers of the series, you might actually enjoy this title a little bit more for me. For everyone else, this game you probably get a little bit of fun out of, but it's definitely not worth the $20. So I'm going to go with rent, but I don't know if you could, so buy when really cheap on PSN, or just steal it from a friend. If you steal it from me, I'm going to chop your face off, but I'm still saying you can steal it from a friend, just not me.